Carlos and Dero, I know you want to take a closer look at Elly De La Cruz, and he has been, he's been a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Since coming up to the big leagues.
Yes, and by the way, the Reds are a totally different team. As a matter of fact, as soon as he arrived, they changed, right? And not only did the record change, now that we see that he's been here for a month or so,
the whole
but
vibe.
The attendance, 50,000 fans now packing every single night because of this young man, the electricity, the energy that he brought to the ball club.
And you talk about it. We hear a lot about prospects coming up, and guys have come and gone into our clubhouses over the years. The McClains, De La Cruz, these dudes are real. They're going to be here for like 10, 15 years doing this
They make such a huge difference, Dero. And let's look at it because it's just awesome to behold, just looking at what he does and he brings to the table. Obviously, a huge frame, right? He can do it all. He can run, he can hit, he's got power, incredible speed. By the way, he changes the game just with his speed, all right? And now you add the arm, now you add the power, and that's what we're going to talk about right here. Just look at these exit velocities, all right? This ball right here almost took down that wall. That was an absolute rocket. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, man, this is impressive. Look at this one right here. This is just a line drive over the second baseman, 115 miles per hour off the bat, almost
this
going all the way over there.
Oh,
bro, that pitch was up and in, almost at his neck.
Almost went over everything.
Yes, 115 miles per hour off the bat. He's got a little flair too, man. A little? I don't think so. Now, this is the thing. Look how he runs. How about having that in your back pocket? Okay, I don't even have to crush the baseball because even if I just make contact, just put the ball in play. Look at this, right at the first baseman. I've never seen this before. I really honestly have never seen that before. That's right at the first baseman, and he made it, he beat it. This one right here, you're like, okay, back contact. Forget about it. Put it in your pocket.
Stole a bag the next
Put it in your pocket. And then he goes to second base. By the way, look at the score. 7-7. It's in the top of the ninth, and now he's at second base. He's the winning run second base just with his legs. Now, right-hander, right? He's had a little bit of trouble right-handed, a little bit, right? But you see him making a good adjustment. This is yesterday. Actually went 4 for 4 yesterday. All right, and you see him having pretty good at-bats. This one, again, weak contact. Forget it. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket. You don't have, that's why he was rushing on that one. And then this, let's go back to this swing, right? Because I want to, if you could pause that, because let's have fun looking at this. Go all the way to the front view, right? And I want you to pause it. Go ahead, play it. And I want you to pause at the top of his load. Check this out, Dero. We're going to pause at the top of his load. He's able to get there. He does that. Look, Syndergaard hasn't even thrown the baseball yet, and he was already at the top of the load. And I don't know if you noticed, he actually pauses there for a little bit without losing leverage. He's still got the energy going forward. And then if you go back right here, that little move, you were doing something here, right?
Oh, that's the move. I watched Bobby Witt.
Look at that move.
Bobby Witt Jr. was doing this thing in the cage where he was presetting his hip. So he would take this back hip and just go, before he swung. And I'm telling you, man, I love it.
But look what he does here, right? Like, look at the hip movement. So, come over here, watch this. So here comes. And when you pause it there. If you go back to the hands go back before the foot lands, right? That position right there. When you're back in your state over there in Georgia, throwing logs on the back of your truck, you know what I mean? And you're doing this, how this is a power move. Even martial, artists would tell you, if you're trying to, if you were to body slam, a row flow, you would go like this, right? And really set your hips in this position, right? This is such a power position. Then play it. Blagada. And again, he is so long, top of the load. Look at that. Nice and early, super early, earlier than you think is reasonable. He understands timing, and here comes the delivery of the barrel to the baseball, and when you pass it at contact. Because this swing, he is so on time for an up and in fastball. Pass it at contact, one more click, boom. There's no obstruction in this swing.
None.
There's no inhibition in that swing.
We talk about that body awareness. I was telling Lauren and Robert, that's what you search for. There is no obstruction in anything this guy does.
And when you do that, you get your A swing at the baseball. You give yourself enough time to get that swing on the baseball, and you maximize your potential. Now, almost a mirror image here. left righty. I couldn't. It's hard to even just try to look for a difference. If he does something different righty than lefty, maybe a bigger leg kick.
His hands are a little further away from him from the left side.
You can go a little, into the details and the weeds, but that's pretty similar.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Right-hander, he slugs 200 points less than he does left-handed. We're talking about in the minor leagues this year, okay? So, and you see him during this year at the beginning of the season when, he here in the big leagues, he's actually been a lot more dangerous from the left side, all right? Now, he's good from the right side. He's exceptional from the left side. So, as Robert, pretty much previewed, what would my suggestion be? This doesn't have to happen now. I'm just saying that sometimes we are afraid to go lefty on lefty, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but when I have this type of mojo going on from the left side, hitting bullets at 120 exit velos.
I don't care if a left-handed.
Come on, take your hacks against the lefty. I don't mind that at all. They'll go ahead and play it. This is one of those tapes that you can watch and just, you feel better after you watch it.
It's the biggest rub on the youth level that I have with kids wanting to switch hit, because it wasn't something. My dad said to me, I'm being honest, he goes, learn how to hit one way. You don't know how to hit righty. And honestly, so that was my mindset. But you talk to Chipper Jones, you talk to Lance Berkman. Lance Berkman talked about taking high school ABs from the opposite side of the plate in big spots, and like hearing whispers of the parents like, really, you're going to take this AB in a big spot in this spot?
Yeah.
But it worked for him. So it's the rub on that for me is so tough.
Yeah, you think about risk reward. I mean, by the way, we have these.
Cedric Mullins
these
abandoned
numbers up here.
hitting righty.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? When you are a right-handed thrower, right, and you hit lefty, that is your bottom hand.
I know.
You're pulling with that strongest hand you have, and it just creates a lot of power. So there's something to be said about right-handed throwers who hit lefty, and we have a few, that you can just go to throughout the years, Hall of Famers who actually are right-handed throwers, hit lefty. Well, Elly De La Cruz, as you can see,
Are you
kidding? From Mardi Gras, by the way.
Can we lock in on this real quick?
He was at Mardi Gras. Yeah.
Look at the bracelet situation we got going on.
He's definitely colorful. You better believe it.
And you know what? He didn't have to take his shirt off to get all those beats.
Great point, Ruffalo.
Absolutely.
You got that.
That's it. Great stuff, Carlos. Good stuff, DeRosa.